Hello, welcome to another 7 Stories in 7 Minutes, and thank you for finding me because I know there's an awful lot of news out there, so really humbled and appreciated. Let's start off with a story that shocked me. I'm just going to read the headlines here. BBC, Italy investigates claims of tourists paying to shoot civilians in Bosnia in 1990s. Looking further on in the article, it says that people were paying at least, in today's terms, £88,000 to go to war zones to shoot civilians. In 1992, late Russian nationalist writer and politician Eduard Limonov, I do apologise for the pronunciation, was filmed firing multiple rounds into Sarajevo from a heavy machine gun. If that wasn't shocking enough, let's go to story 2, because that was in the 1990s, and of course it doesn't happen now, does it? Yes, it does. In story 2 from The Guardian, holidays in hell behind the rise in war tourism. Have you heard of war tourism? I hadn't heard of it, but it's very much a thing. And this is people that buy tickets to go to the front line like they're going to a theatre, like they're going to a performance, and they're paying vast amounts of money to go to a war zone to have their photograph taken holding an AK-47 or in front of some battle tank. I mean, this is quite extraordinary, and this has all been revealed in a documentary called Danger Zone. So, where are you going to book your next holiday? For me, certainly, it will not be a war zone. I cannot think of anything worse. Let's go to children, story 3, and this story has been hitting the headlines for the last few days. I caught it when it was a tiny little story at the bottom here of the Telegraph, but actually this is a huge story. NHS trans drug trial betrays our children. The NHS will prescribe banned puberty blockers in what parents have branded a betrayal of children. The drugs will be given to more than 200 children, potentially as young as 8, who think they may be transgender. I'll be very interested to hear what Dr. Christian Buckland has to say about this. And also the Cass report, let's not forget that. I'm shocked. Let's stay with story for children, because this has come to my attention. A groundbreaking study into lead exposure to improve children's health. Lead exposure, I mean, whatever next? We've had lead on our radar for a very long time, right? Well, it seems now that the government have too. Let's look further. They say there is no safe level of lead exposure, and while less common today, we can still be exposed in our everyday lives, and crucially, these serious health impacts are preventable. I'm seeing more electric cars around, are you? Just bear that in mind. And staying on that subject, it's still in the same paper. This is a pioneering, see, pioneering, that means new, that means experiment. A pioneering study to screen children for lead exposure has been launched in Leeds. So once again, Leeds, you're the target for this. Around 150,000 households in Leeds will receive letters inviting them to participate. They aim to recruit 500 families with children aged 1 to 6 who will use finger prick blood sampling kits at home, alongside providing soil and house dust samples. Pioneering screening for children lead exposure. Just saying, watch out in Leeds. If you get a letter, you might not wish to participate. It's your choice, remember. But let's stay with air, because air's the big thing. It's air pollution. And this is COMYAP. Anybody heard of that? I hadn't. It's the Committee on the Medical Effects of Air Pollutants. The reason that I've highlighted the page numbers there is because this is a massive document. It's 439 pages long, and to be fair, I have to admit I haven't read all 439 pages, but if you would like to, please let me know what you discover. So this is the effects of maternal exposure to ambient air pollution on adverse birth outcomes. So now we're going to blame bad air on birth outcomes, and we know there have been huge issues, right, with births and pregnancy ever since the COVID vaccination and pharmaceutical interventions and lifestyle choices. But now we seem to be blaming air, and as you go further on into that article, you can see there that they're looking at air pollutants And they're going to be looking at exposure response. Is it robust enough to estimate the number of births? Have they done enough research on it? They don't think they have. They say that they need to do more. They need to do loads more research. So you're going to be the guinea pigs. You're going to be asked to be doing the tests because they say they don't have enough evidence. Well, that suggests to me that there probably isn't any evidence to gather, if you know what I'm saying. Let's look at story 6, and story 6 is all about me actually, and for many of you will know that as well as being a trained nurse, I also served as a government advisor for the Department of Health on the Autism Programme Board, and just as a verification I wanted to show you my certificate of contribution in recognition of my contribution to the Autism Programme Board, which was chaired by the Secretary of State at the time. Here you can see it was Norman Lamb. Because just today I learned that the new Autism Strategy is about to be delivered. Well, I was instrumental in Think Autism back in 2010 to 2015, so this is of great interest to me. And here it says the Autism Act says the government must produce an autism strategy backed up by statutory guidance for the NHS and local authorities. Now, if you look further into this strategy, you can see that everything that I've highlighted there: invest in driving down autism assessment waiting times, prevent care needs from developing and escalating into crisis, crucial transition for young people and children. We've been there, done it, folks. I spent 5 years around a government board table saying exactly the same things. What we're going to be seeing in the future is different criteria for autism. So only those with profound autism, and that will be probably of an IQ less than 50, will be eligible for any educational help or any benefits help. But there's going to be lots more on this. I've got a lot to work on when it comes to the autism strategy, so stay tuned for some more very soon. And on that note, I just want to thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Don't forget, whatever happens and however gloomy it gets, you really must keep smiling.